are live.
You're live, right?
Well, we know each other, but
Yes.
for everyone, I'm Ann Rogers,
Sure.
the CEO and founder of Mezmira. And I'm here today with a friend of mine who I've gotten to know over the last couple of years by bringing in my clothes. This is Reza Ayat of Monde Tailors here in St. Louis Park in the Minneapolis area.
Sure.
And we get a lot of questions from our clients as they're considering when they're investing in their wardrobe, or we're going through their closet with them. We get a lot of questions about tailoring. It seems like it's quite a mystery.
Yes.
And we've been having conversations with our clients, lately, an ongoing conversation, but our last kind of in our series was a workshop on when to invest in your professional wardrobe. And so I've had my own experience with you, and I know that I look at my closet differently, and I also look at when I'm buying something differently because I have a relationship with you, and because I've had a lot of experiences with you. So we wanted to have you on today because you're wonderful.
Thank you.
And we wanted to help kind of debunk some of the mysteries around tailoring.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for the audience too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think the big question that we get from a lot of our clients is to tailor or to toss. And so as our clients and as women are looking at their wardrobe and they're trying to make that decision, what are some of the considerations?
Well, I think the most important thing is the cost.
Okay.
So now if somebody says cost is not important, then you look at other things. But most of the times cost isn't. Let's say you wear a suit, or you have a suit that you really love, and you look at the suit and you put the suit on and you're like, I really love this suit. I would rather spend N amount of money to keep the suit.
Yeah.
Then you would actually do that and go right in and finish it. So if we take the cost out of the thing, you have to look at it as what kind of alteration is going to make it better for us.
Okay.
Like if you come in here with a suit, the shoulder is too big, the side is too big, the sleeve is too long, the pants are too baggy, the pants are too long, and you're looking at a lot of money to invest on that particular suit. You might be better off to buy a new suit that actually fits you and then do very small alterations. So you have to look at the alterations that way. So I mean that's the best way I can. And then when you go to a tailor, you take that stuff with you. You go to a tailor, and then you look at the tailor and say, "Hey, this is what I have in my closet, and I'm wondering, does this worth my time to do alterations on?" And most tailors will tell you up front, this is how much it's going to cost, and then you go right in and you spend it, and then you think, is it worth it or not? And if it does not worth it, you go buy new stuff. I would say, take a look at your closet and see, and then you look at it one time, usually one or two or three items right away is like, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that you pick up.
Okay.
If you haven't worn something for years, there's no way. If you put it on and you're like, maybe, you're never going to wear it. You need to really, really love the clothes that you think. And then you talk to stylists as well, because there's some stuff, the vintage stuff is coming back and more. You see more young people are wearing it, more I guess young force are wearing it. You see a lot of this stuff is happening. But you have to actually love the items first before you do it. Then you go to a tailor, and the tailor is going to basically tell you this and this and this and this and this needs to be done to it. Normally, if it's a couple of items, I would do it. If it's more than 3-4 items that you need to do, like for example, shoulders are a big deal. So if you take the shoulders in, that's a lot of money. Then you're stuck with a $300-400 bill that you really don't want to spend. I'd rather just spend the money on something brand new to something.
So kind of back to the cost element. So obviously there's a wide range.
Yes.
But you mentioned like doing one thing about an item, or one particular area of an item, or multiple areas of an item will add to the cost. What are some other things that impact the cost, which is your time?
Well, yes. So it depends on the material that there is. Like if you're looking at for something that has silk, chiffon, like these flimsy materials, like that. So that's going to cost. If it's leather, it's going to cost more.
Okay.
If it's wool or like a little heavier duty material, maybe it's going to cost less. So that's just the material. If you're dealing with zippers, snaps, or stuff like that in the middle of the stuff, if you're dealing with beaded dress,
Okay.
that's going to cost more.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that stuff, you have to think about that. Like for example, if you have a dress that you really love that has a side zipper and is beaded, so you're going to spend a lot of money on this. So you really, really have to love it. Not saying, I've had people spend like $500 on a dress. They love it, and then they say, well, I have 2 or 3 use on it.
Yeah.
But I also have people, we tell them, don't spend the money on this, because they come in front of the mirror and like, I'm not really sure, I'm not loving it. If you're not sure you're loving it, by the time I'm done with the alteration, you're not going to love it. Because it's in your head, and it's not going to come up.
It's interesting because I brought, and I specifically wore a couple of the items that you've done for me.
Yeah.
So this jacket I got for my husband for Christmas.
Sure.
And I said I want a black moto jacket for Christmas because
Sure.
I know I'm going to wear it and I don't have one.
Yeah.
In the excitement of everybody opening everything, I realized that he bought me a size larger
Yeah.
than I normally wear.
Sure.
And so, but I took the tags off of it, and then it was hanging in my closet.
Yes.
But when I tried it on with the stylist, she said, I'm like, I love it, and I got it for my husband, and I know it's going to be something that has, like, it's perennial.
Sentimental value, yeah. Also has sentimental value, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I brought it in, and the only thing that kept me from wearing it was that the sleeves were too long.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it had this, like, zipper detail, and it's leather.
Yeah.
But you helped me talk through it, and I decided, it still wasn't exorbitant, but I made the investment because of all of those other reasons that this was, and I wear this jacket all the time. Now I've had this for a couple of years, I wear it all the time.
Yeah.
And like this skirt was another example of, it's a maxi skirt, and when I tried it on with the stylist,
The
I'm like,
pleats and all that,
yeah, I was like, I love this skirt, but I don't know why I'm not wearing it.
Yeah.
And it was back to that love, and what it was is that it was just a little bit too big in the waist.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And side too.
yeah, and the side, we
too.
took the side in a little bit, and once we pulled it up,
Yeah.
now it feels right.
Yeah, right on the right point. But at the same time, like for example, this for this leather, so a lot of times people bring the leather and they say, "Oh, shorten the sleeves," and it has zippers,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like, normally anywhere from $60 to $100 to shorten those stuff, and then sometimes people say, "You know what, the jacket doesn't worth it.
Yep.
I'll just go around and buy a new one."
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you say, "You know what, I want to spend the money." So it's I try to not focus on the garments. I try to focus on a person and see what that person wants. Because the last thing I want to do is to persuade you to do it or not do it. Because that is wrong. Because I'm stealing your money. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But if you go right and say, okay, you have to have a lot of psychology, so you have to read people, and sometimes I mess up, just like I wanted to do it, but you decided, you told me not to do it, And then for stuff like this, like the skirt, it has a lot of work. You need to do the waist, you need to do the side.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of work to do it. And sometimes, it doesn't worth the price. And then you just say, I'm not going to do it.
So that's one of the things I notice when I come in, is that you ask me a lot of questions.
Yeah,
And there's
I'm annoying that way.
and there's a lot of pause and like, just tell me what to do. But you ask me a lot of questions, and you really help me think about what I am trying to achieve and what really I value and what matters to me.
Yeah.
And so I was lucky enough to just stumble upon you, and
Yeah.
obviously because we built a lot of trust with one another,
Sure.
that I continue to come back.
Yeah.
What, for our women, what can they be thinking about when if they don't stumble upon, or they don't have a tailor, and they've got a pile of clothes that we're suggesting that they bring in?
Yeah.
what should they be looking for to find the tailor that's, you know, right for them?
Okay, so I think the most important thing is trust. Now, how do you gain somebody's trust? Well, when you go to someplace, any place, it doesn't have to be a tailor. You go to a place and you have to be comfortable. If you feel like you're on edge with that person is not for you. You might be the best tailor in town, in the universe, right?
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable, that's not a tailor for you, all right? You need to be comfortable, that you need to be able to tell that person what you want. Now, for example, I ask a lot of questions because English is my second language, right? And I try to understand the person. But at the same time, I try to understand what this person's psyche is. So if I understand you better, then I can understand how you're going to be wearing stuff. So I ask you how you want to wear it. Where are you going to wear it? What are you going to be wearing it with? How much money you want to spend on it? Because that I'm actually gathering information of what kind of a person. If you say money is not a problem, then I know that I have to be a little bit more careful with you. Because a lot of times people say money is not a problem, they make a mistake and they spend too much on a garment that they shouldn't. So I say, well, when you say that to me, I always say money is always a problem. So just think about it. And then if I feel like somebody is basically saying whatever you say, that's dangerous.
Okay.
You know? So when you go to a tailor, make sure you're comfortable with him. If you're not comfortable with a man, go with a woman. A lot of people are. A lot of your clients are ladies.
Yeah.
So a lot of ladies are more comfortable with ladies, right? So because they want to talk about bra cups and bras and other issues, undergarments and stuff like that. So it's a little bit riskier with men than women, but most of my clients don't mind that. But that's that comfort zone, right? So you make sure that you're comfortable. Then you make sure that this person does not want to just take your money. And the way you know that is just whatever you say to a tailor, and if he says yes, that's not good. That tailor needs to be able to tell you, no, don't do this or don't do this with logic. Okay?
Yeah.
So then you know that this person just not looking to take your money. Because with any industry, our industry is the same. There are some people just to take your money. So if your jacket needs $600 worth, there's $600 in my pocket. But does it worth $600 to spend on this jacket? And you never will do it. So that's another thing you have to say. And then you also look at other people that actually use the tailor. Which is common sense. You want to go to a mechanic and you look at all things. So most of my business is word of mouth. People go through Google, but most of the people, mom and pop. You've been in business for 40-some years, so people just go tell neighbors, tell friends, tell daughters, sons, husbands, wives, and then they do it. And then they come and they use me. If they're not comfortable, they won't come back. I don't take it personal. But you need to be comfortable and you need to be able to trust that person a couple of times. If you don't trust that person, it's not going to work. That's what I would say.
That's such a great recommendation. Oftentimes, kind of in our world, I think we do a Google search. I mean, you happen to have 5-star reviews, and there's a reason that you do.
Yeah.
But no matter what, even if they're for somebody else, they might not be for you.
Sure.
So try it out. Your know or no is kind of like listen to yourself.
Yeah, you try it on. Maybe you try on a couple of items that, just like you did, you brought a couple of pants and see how you like it. And then another thing is, I don't know, sometimes attention to details. Because what I do in here, there are thousands of people do this. There are thousands of people do it better than me, and there are thousands of people do it worse than me. What are the difference between those people is being patient and attention to details. So when you bring the skirt, I look around, and if your skirt is not even, and I just mark one thing of it, and I say, just come back and pick it up, that's probably not a good tailor for me.
Yeah. So that attention to detail also. So we have busy career women. A lot of them are moms. They may be traveling, and so they have a lot to manage in the office. And when they're at home, or if they're a hybrid schedule, they're kind of running in between. So to that end, if you're going to invest in a tailor, how can women make the best of their time then when they come in? Because we have so many things on our to-do list, like drop and go.
Yeah.
So what would we be thinking about? What do you need to bring with you when you are coming into the tailor?
Okay, so definitely shoes, undergarments are most important. Shoes and undergarments, I would say, they're the most important thing. And obviously the garment.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then also, don't try to squeeze your work within 3 or 4 days. I know it happens all the time.
Yep.
But try to think about, okay, I'm gonna wear this in July. So let me take it to a tailor, let me take it to a stylist and see if that's it okay. Because it might not be okay. A lot of times people come in here and I have 4 days and I'm not sure if I wanna wear this dress, or a dress I haven't bought. So be vigilant about that. So putting that aside, I think you just come in here and I do fitting for all my customers. That's just the way I am. It's irritating to our people, and it's a lot of more work on me. But I want you to see the product halfway done and say, you know what, I like it, or I like it tight, or I like it loose. Because I need to get into your head, and for the past 30 years, I haven't been able to. So this is the best way to do it. So people come in here, they try it on, and they come back. As you can see, we have some pins in here. Yeah. I know some tailors don't do fittings. More power to them. I don't. Because I need somebody to see it. And then you see and then the next time when the person comes in, they know that is a two-step process, 3-step process. So if I take time out of my busy time to make sure that your garment is perfect, that you should do the same. Even though you're busy, I'm also busy.
Yeah.
So shoes, definitely, men and women,
okay.
But especially ladies, because nowadays we're coming with all these huge pants with like baggy pants,
yep.
And then say, oh, you forgot my shoes. Not good. You got to bring your shoes. Bring your right undergarments, and then we go from there. Bras are very important.
How come? Say a little more about that.
Okay, so bras are important because if you're wearing, because a lot of times, obviously ladies have different chests, right? So the bra will kind of dictate how you wear your dress, right? So a lot of times you cannot wear a bra. Sometimes you have to tape it. Sometimes you have to wear one of those gel ones.
Yep. Or
sometimes you have to add cups, right? So you have to think about in which situation you want to use what. A lot of times, a lot of ladies come to me and says, oh, just add a cup. Well, adding a cup, it does not work all the time, right? Now, if you're like, I'm small, add a cup. Yeah, you're small, but adding a cup is all it's going to do is just bring it up. It's not going to. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. So you have to. Every situation is different. And I think if you can't use a bra, I would use a bra 100 times.
Okay.
If you cannot use it, then you go different because it just looks better. If your garment already has built-in cups into it, then maybe you don't have to do it. But most of the regular dresses, unless they're bridesmaid dresses, don't have that. So then you have to think about it puts, try not to be as, it puts the best of yourself up front, right? And now these bras are doing fantastic because they have different stuff. And a lot of people say, I can't wear a bra because I have a backless dress. Not true. Because they also make low back bras, and it doesn't have straps, and it works wonderful. So you should do that. And then if you spend $60, $70, $80 on a wonderful bra that you could wear with half of your garments, you should do it.
So lots of things, lots of things to consider, but
Yeah.
it is an investment of your time when
Yes.
you're coming in. It is an investment of your money.
Yes.
Thinking about investing in time to try to find the right tailor as well. But
Yes.
when you find that person,
Yeah.
they can help you, give you a level of trust. You can unlock some of that stranded investment that's
Sure,
in
sure.
your closet.
Sure.
And it can make you feel, I think the other thing is, it can make you feel more comfortable. Because I think we know from experience that when clothing fits really well,
Yeah.
we hold ourselves differently as
Yeah.
well. We're not tugging at the dress,
Yes.
or we're not worried that we're going to trip when we're on stage for a presentation.
Yeah.
You just overall feel more comfortable in your clothing as
Yeah.
well, especially if it's not too tight or gaping in somewhere, and that can be really problematic for women.
And the most important thing is when you come to a tailor or to a stylist, the same thing actually, you better know that that person will tell you the truth, right?
Yeah.
Because your husband, you can ask your husband, or you can ask your boyfriend, how do I look? You look fantastic. They're not gonna tell you the truth. But when you go and you have that kind of a thing, you look uncommon, like, man, you look bad. It doesn't look good. And a lot of people, they get disappointed.
Yeah.
But you want that truth because you want to know that when you go out there, somebody is wearing, and you're wearing that clothes, you know what? Somebody told me that looks good. Now, a lot of people might not like it, but that is important. I think it is important.
Yeah.
And you need to have that in your tailor. If you don't have that in your tailor, if you're, whatever you wear, your tailor says is cute, well, it's I don't think it is. So,
Yeah.
because different clothes are, do differently.
Yep. Investing in an expertise, and that real
Yeah.
talk. That's
Yeah.
what you expect when you're
Yeah.
paying somebody an expertise. That's part of
Yeah.
what your
Yeah.
that's part of what your expectation is
Yeah.
to be able to build that trust and have
Trust,
expert advice.
yeah, very true, very true. Yeah. And it's not easy, unfortunately, with any industry, as I said, a lot of people are just here for a buck. And don't blame them, everybody needs to live, but it's important that you find somebody that you trust and then you go on from them.
Yeah.
Because the money, I always tell people that the most important thing for me is returning customers. I don't want a one-time customer.
Yeah.
A one-time customer don't mean anything to me, but a return customer means I have that relationship, and that relationship worth more over time than a one-time customer. 1,000 one-time customer or 2 returning customers. I take the 2 returning customers.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to thank you. I'm a very happy returning customer.
I really
I'm going to
appreciate
check
it.
to see if we have any
Okay.
if we have any other additional questions that
Yeah,
have come
sure.
in. Great reminder about the shoes. We have some waves. Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate it.
I really
I appreciate
appreciate it.
your time.
For my first Instagram video.